Hi, this is Kirk, the Bariatric Carnivore. Well, I'm fresh back from vacation, had a couple of days at the beach, and really enjoyed it. But I'm telling you, there's nothing like taking time to travel to put things a little bit in perspective, and it sharpens some focus that I've been thinking about for a while, and that is the spiritual aspect of health, because you start watching people as they travel and as they behave on the beach, etc., and you realize that not everybody's living at a high spiritual plane. There are people that are get very angry at kids being kids. That the weather's not perfect. That, my gosh, people want to sit next to me on an airplane. Who knew that was going to happen? Planes are going to be delayed. Things are going to happen. And having a spiritual perspective that helps you to realize how little control you actually have in your life, I think is helpful. It is kind of an anti-stress, anti-inflammatory medicine that you can give yourself. And this can come from a lot of different places. It can come from, many people find spiritual solace in organized religions. And some people have religious rituals that they engage in. Be quick, to look at where different religions are correct and have things that are helpful to you. And, you don't have to have something that you've had, when I grew up Roman Catholic, I became Protestant over time. But I have found that, as I've gotten a little bit older and hopefully a little wiser, there's certain practices, in Catholicism that, I had, kind of written off for a long time that actually have some real benefit and value. I am, starting to see some perspectives from different religions that are helpful, to me personally, to help put life in perspective and to put stresses in perspective. And that, frankly, is what I'm getting to. It's not trying to convert somebody to a particular form of religion, but to help. I think all of us can achieve some form of spiritual health by getting perspective. And how do you do that? Well, you could practice mindfulness. You could practice some sort of guided meditation. And there's lots of really great little things on Spotify and YouTube, etc., that will help you just kind of calm down and relax the mind. Read different philosophers. I love Stoic philosophy. I love Marcus Aurelius stuff. Read the Old Testament, the book of Proverbs. That will really help put, a lot of things in perspective, and a lot of wisdom that comes from that. Books, are out there that have lots of different perspectives and help you to come to a higher spiritual plane as you navigate this way through life. And as we do that, and we get that perspective as to how little control we actually have, that is where we start to get that real antidote to the stresses of life. And there's not, a huge amount of science out there where they can quantify that if you have X amount of spirituality, and you do it for so many minutes a day, it's going to result in this much of a reduction in your blood pressure. But there's enough ample evidence that shows that people that do have a spiritual perspective and they do have healthy relationships and they're not stressed out and they can put life in perspective, they live longer and they live happier and they live healthier. That much we know with certainty. So what I'm trying to suggest is one of the pillars of health, right up there with your diet, exercise, and sleep, is also maintaining some sort of spiritual perspective. And to work on it in a way that you're comfortable with and find things that work for you, I think makes total sense. Because, and you can look around the world and realize that, most people don't have it. The number one greatest source of stress in most people's lives is this horrible feeling that they have no control. And people will literally blow themselves up for causes because they sense they have no control over their lives. It's that powerful, it's that irrational of a force. So before you blow yourself up and blow your own health up, hopefully this will encourage you to gain some perspective and to start really taking a look at, what am I doing for my spiritual health? And when you start to add that into it, it's only going to improve your overall well-being. This is Kirk, the Bariatric Carnivore. I try to put out a couple messages each week. If you like this message, please hit like and subscribe. Join this channel of other like-minded folks. I will talk to you again soon.